Hello there and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo 2 and some more Project A-Spec 1.2, continuing our showcase of the upcoming update to the fantastic Project A-Spec mod. And on today's showcase I wanted to focus on the hatchbacks that they're adding in. Hot hatchbacks are one of my favourite car categories, and 1.2 put some attention on them. So we're going to take a look at the three upcoming ones. We're going to look at the Isuzu or Isuzu, I have no idea. Everyone got angry at how I said it in the previous video, and I can't be bothered to go back and read the comments on how to actually pronounce it, so Isuzu. The Piazza XE from 1981. We have the 1993 Opel Astra GSi 16 valve, and the 1980 Renault 5 Turbo to take a look at today. So we are going to get ourselves into the Piazza, and we are going to go to the Clubman Cup. I did the Compact Car World Cup when I did the Twingo video a while back, so we'll focus on this one for now. Sort of hot hatch-ish opponents. This is one of the base game championships, and I think that's where the Piazza here is really going to fit into the game as sort of an interesting left field base game sports car, if you will. Sort of on the levels of starting out with something like an A86 or a Nissan Silvia. This is going to be that sort of car, which is great to have sort of another low-end sports car, because this game needs a few more of them. Obviously there's 1,000 Unos Roadsters, and to be fair there's far too many Sprinter Trainos as well, but still it's nice to see another car added to the roost. And this one's actually going to be quite powerful amongst them, with 133 brake horsepower from the get-go. And obviously looks like nothing else, this Giugiaro designed body. Obviously Giugiaro designed stuff like the Golf, BMW M1. You can sort of see a lot of that in this car, in the way that it's designed. Very cool pop-up headlights. Technically not a hatchback, it's a liftback, but we'll ignore that inconsequential correction for this video. It's a really nice car to drive, this actually. Upgraded, not the quickest thing. I think it gets about 260 horsepower fully upgraded, which would put it right around the sort of upgrade potential you can get out of the Sprinter Treno. I can't remember if this is NA tunes or turbo tunes. I can't quite remember which one this uses, but either way, it's going to be a good car for sort of this early game races, especially with a couple of 100 credits spent on like a racing muffler and air filter and stuff like that. It's yeah, going to be quite a cool car to just sort of mess around with, and quite a fun one. Like I say, it actually drives really quite nicely indeed. A little bit softly sprung, but then again, it is 18 years old by this game's reckoning. Of course, it's far older in reality. It's about 42 years old now, but we'll ignore that, because otherwise that makes everyone feel old. This Alan is going to try and catch me on the straight, but it looks like he's going to run out of puff. Look at that Cinquecento though. The Cinquecento absolutely going for it at the end. Destroyed the Fiat Barchetta, and the MGF blows a head gasket apparently. So yeah, sort of for these base game races, the Piazza should be pretty good, and like I say, should you decide to upgrade this, that will make it even better for these early game races. The good thing with the Piazza as well is, hopefully, I don't know because I haven't got access to sort of how these cars are going to work and how they're going to be implemented, but I would assume the Piazza is going to be pretty cheap, so you probably should be able to start the game with it. Onto the Astra, the 93 Astra, the Mark III Astra. I am no Astra fan, as anyone who's been around this channel for any length of time will know. I hate these things. There is a Jaguar XJ and a TVR in this race. I may have slightly misjudged bringing these cars to this event, but there we go. We've got a Venturi, an S2000, an Alpha 156. Okay. So I guess we're going to have to rely on the cornering abilities of Mark III Astra, which isn't ideal, because these cars, I mean, they weren't bad, they just weren't amazingly renowned for their handling. I think the Mark IV was better. Of course, the Mark IV was also a far duller car than the Mark III. I quite like the Mark III Astra, as much as I don't like Astras. Might be my favourite Astra. Aesthetically, it looks very sort of 90s, which I like. And these were pretty decent performers. I mean, 150 horsepower in a 1993 hatchback's pretty good. I mean, the Escort, the only real quick Escorts back then were stuff like the RS2000 and the Cosworth, which were far more expensive than this thing. So that was quite a benefit. I'm trying to think of other cars that will sort of compete around here. I mean, Renault Clio Williams for outright performance would probably beat this. And I'm sure there was hot Peugeot 306s. Although this being a 93, I suppose, I don't think the 306 Rallies and S16s and XSIs were launch cars. I could be wrong on that. But either way, this one, 148 horsepower. A lot like the Piazza, this one's going to be quite a good early game car, especially for stuff like the Compact Car Cup. That Venturi is just ridiculously quick on the straights. I'm a bit worried about the Renault 5 on the final race of this now, but it should be able to hold on. The Twingo was a challenge and we managed to get that to win all 3 of its races, so hopefully this should be able to do the trick. A little bit of understeer in that corner, as you'd expect from a front wheel drive car. But no, this one's quite a tidy peddler. This is another... The Piazza and the 5 Turbo do make sense. When they said they were going to implement the Opel, that was a bit of a surprise to me. And I think in terms of 1.2, I could be wrong. It's either this or the Suzuki Carry, I think, are the oldest cars coming into 1.2, because these were teased months ago. To sort of be coming into the game. But yeah, it was quite surprising when I saw this one pop up, but still, nevertheless, very happy to see it. As I mentioned in my 1.2 update video, unfortunately it doesn't come in that fantastic yellow, like the lemon sherbety yellow that the Max Power car that was on Top Gear came in, but I don't think there was a factory colour, so they can sort of be forgiven for not implementing that. I've only seen this in white and red so far. That's the only 2 colours I could get to spawn, but maybe there's other colours for this car, I'm not too sure. Try and block this Venturi on the straights. Gonna need all of 4th gear, come on car! It beats them, go on Astra! I was completely wrong about the Astra, it's yeah. I mean, a little bit of creative blocking, but still beat a bunch of high-end sports cars and a Honda S2000, but let's not talk about that. I'm a bit scared of the final race of this, actually, because that's the Renault 5 Turbo is 150 horsepower, 970 kilo. For me, personally, I think this is the best-looking model in this little pack of cars we've had, and I think it's actually one of the best looking models that I've seen them implement into the game. This looks fantastic. Granted, the Renault 5, a relatively easy car to model. There's not a whole lot of awkward angles on this car, if you will, but it looks absolutely fantastic. And they've got the two-tone sort of blue. You can obviously get this in red with the orange as well. Both of those colours in the game, and very accurate indeed. But now we're going to see how this copes against the GTR and a V6. I'm trying to tell if that's... okay. Anyways, yes, the Renault 5 Turbo. Is that the Demio sound? That might be an issue with this build. I'll get that sorted with computer. But either way, yes, this car is very cool. Looks very good in game, and we're gonna absolutely smash the Clio V6 with this thing, and the Audi S4, and the rest of these. Wow! Get out of the way. I'm assuming that's not the 4-litre Chimera as it buggers off into the distance. I'm assuming that is the one of the full fat ones, either the 4.5 or the 5 litre. No 4.2 in that one. No AJ-V8. I think those just had the standard Rover V8 in those ones. Now this one, the 5 Turbo, I haven't driven this car in anger yet. I've driven the rally version, and the rally version was not great. If I'm being honest, it was quite a tricky car to handle, but this road version feels supremely planted. It feels really good, actually. And it's sort of keeping up with these cars. I mean, obviously, weight advantage down this straight. Can't keep any of these cars behind, but the actual handling of this is sublime. Handles really well. This is another one. I think I did try this fully upgraded, so I think if you sort of put an exhaust on it and stuff, it should be alright. And to be fair, this car, fully upgraded, I think made around sort of similar sort of horsepower figures to the rally car, sort of the 300, 350 mark. And at 300, 350, especially the weight reduction, which probably takes this thing down to around 800 kilos, it might be a bit of a nightmare to sort of drive at that point, but this would be a very useful car for the late game. I would say sort of mid to late game, you'd be able to get some quite giant killing results out of this thing, and sort of Grand Tour trophy and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll have to check that, but it's a very cool car. I like the Renault 5 Turbo a lot. Obviously, it's mad. The Clio V6 that came later, you could argue, was a bit more mad. Obviously, this was, I suppose, growing up in the age of the turbocharged engine, the idea of a mid-engined hatchback is obviously still quite mental, but the idea of it sort of being turbocharged as opposed to a giant 3-litre V6 motor is sort of less surprising these days, but still pretty cool indeed. Well, that Audi's going to block. They're all working together as a team. I'll have to try and get the TVR on the corner, which wouldn't be too difficult, but he is taking a shallow line. I will bully my way past him. Forgive the bullying, because I have a lot less power than you do. To the line, yes! So there you go, you can, that was a 4.5, wow. We completely dominated our younger cousin, the Clio. And, yeah, proof that you can beat the early Club Cup events, which are actually relatively difficult considering sort of the level of car that you'd have when you do these events. The free hatchbacks can beat those events. So, something to keep in mind for when 1.2 does release. So here's my disclaimer to say this is not out yet. Do not ask the Discord for it. I've seen this. I feel bad for the guys because I feel like I'm emphasizing this quite a lot, that this update isn't out yet and this is a preview build, but still people ask, where can I download? And the answer is you can't download. It's not out yet. Anyways, yes, thank you to Komputer for the preview build and to all of the A-Spec team for your hard work and dedication and continuing to add content, because since my original 1.2 video, they have prototyped, I think, 4 or 5 more cars, and the C5 Corvette now has a racing mod, so they're definitely cooking on Project A-Spec, and you should join the Discord and give the guys a follow on Twitter and all that sort of stuff. Check them out. Anyways, that is it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Let me know what cars or car classes you'd like to see me spotlight in the 1.2 build on the run-up to release, and yeah, until next time, farewell.
My hopes and dreams are going. I'll only you got up in a wall that you are not part of. Eyes on the slit of your father with love.